Anthony Joshua break his public silence for the first time since the crash. In a post that was shared to Instagram, the world heavyweight champion released an image alongside what appears to be perhaps the parents of Gami and Ayodele, offering a quiet but powerful tribute to two men.
That people came out to show their respects, but they also came out to support Anthony Joshua, because what must he be going through right now?
Anthony Joshua couldn't hold back the tears when he walked into London Central Mosque for Sina and Latif's final farewell. After getting released from that Lagos hospital where doctors patched him up following the devastating crash, AJ flew straight home to face the hardest moment of his life. This was different from any fight he'd ever been in. The heavyweight champion who'd stared down giants in the ring now stood completely vulnerable, letting his raw emotion pour out as he said goodbye to two men who meant everything to him. Once AJ got back to the UK and made it through those gut-wrenching funeral services for Sina Gami and Latif Ayodele, he finally broke his silence on social media. The Instagram post hit different than anything he'd shared before. There he was, sitting close with the families who'd lost everything, and all he could manage to say was, "My brother's keeper." Those 3 words carried more weight than any victory speech ever could. Spencer Farron captured something powerful in that moment he shared with Anthony Joshua. You could see it in that single embrace outside the mosque. AJ wasn't carrying himself like the world champion everyone knows. The man standing there was completely broken, carrying grief so heavy you could feel it just watching him. When someone who's built their life on strength shows that kind of vulnerability, it stops you cold.
I mean, I was walking out because I wasn't gonna go say anything to him. But I was walking out, then I got tapped on the shoulder. I turned around, it was Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? And we had a brief chat and a little embrace and that, and then I left. But it was, you know, funerals are never good. But
that first Instagram post since everything fell apart showed a side of AJ nobody was ready for. Surrounded by the loved ones of Sina Gami and Latif Ayodele, his simple caption, "My brother's keeper," hit like a punch to the chest. This wasn't about belts or rankings or any of that noise. This was a promise carved in pain, a commitment to carry the memory of 2 men who'd become his family.
And this is Anthony Joshua's first post since the tragic accident, okay? This came from his social media, and of course, if you guys didn't see it in the preview of the video, it was simple but strong and powerful, and it stated, "My brother's keeper." And in this situation, it means that he's going to take care of everything. He's responsible for his brothers.
Johnny Nelson saw right through to what this tragedy really meant for AJ. Watching someone lose the people closest to them, the guys who had his back through every training session and life moment, changes everything. These weren't just teammates or colleagues walking beside him. AJ was mourning family, and that kind of loss leaves marks that never fully heal.
Talk about these 2 young men that lost their lives and their families, how it's affected their families. So you want to concentrate on AJ. How's it going to affect AJ? Instead of concentrating on how's it affected the people that have lost their children.
The questions that torture survivors hit AJ hard. Why did they go instead of me? Why couldn't I save them? For a fighter who's conquered every challenge thrown his way, this kind of helplessness cuts deeper than any physical pain ever could. Sometimes life throws punches that no amount of training prepares you for, and this was AJ's hardest fight yet.
You look at it's always the people that are the best, or, you know what I mean, that end up going first. you know, and you examine like, well, why wasn't it me, or why did this have to happen?
What AJ shared after laying his friends to rest revealed how completely this tragedy transformed him. Strip away the championships and the spotlight and you find someone who just learned life's most brutal lesson. The people standing with you matter more than every achievement combined. Losing Cena and Lats in a flash forced him to see what actually counts, and it wasn't anything he'd won in a ring.
Just trying to find happiness within yourself. True blessing is actually making into this earth. Everyone dies at some stage. So I think across the board, one has to be happy inside. No matter if other material possession one owns, how that's a car and a driving. Very, very careful of other people we choose to hang around with and associate them, because you soon become like the people who spend most of their hell. The sheep come to hunt around with lions. Sheep receive another lie. So pick your friends and your circle wisely. Much as the kids is, they start to flourish and grow, and blossom, and rather than perish, made away and die. So look at the environment, it's the same thing.
Even Jarrell Miller, who's thrown plenty of words AJ's way over the years, couldn't stay quiet watching this unfold. When you see someone get hit with this kind of devastating loss, old beefs don't matter anymore. Miller's reaction showed what the whole boxing world felt watching AJ break down. This transcended sport completely. This was about watching a human being get shattered by something no fighter trains for.
You don't know what other people are going through. And even though AJ,
Johnny Nelson reminded everyone that behind all the headlines were real families destroyed by this crash. When you lose someone in a heartbeat like that, everything changes instantly. This whole nightmare forced AJ and everyone watching to face how fragile everything really is, how quickly the people we love can be gone forever.
Nigeria, it's just sad. It just makes you realise how valuable life is, and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs, and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing your life. So it was a sad thing to hear, sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally, but you've got to think about these two men who were somebody's child, someone's brother, and that's what you've got to think about, those people that have lost their lives.
Pain Games saw exactly how violent and sudden this crash really was. AJ might dominate in the ring, but walking away from a collision that instantly killed his two closest friends breaks something inside that physical toughness can't fix. The mental and emotional damage from surviving something like that runs deeper than any body shot ever could.
It's such a severe car accident there. Like, all right, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living. And obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out of car accidents like that with great care, because you don't want to...
Showbiz, the adult, dove into the legal side of this heartbreaking situation. Nigerian authorities slapped the driver with dangerous driving charges after his Lexus SUV slammed into that stationary truck. While everyone's focused on AJ's grief and remembering Sina Gami and Lateef Latsio Dele, the legal system moves forward regardless. Reckless driving that kills people carries serious prison time in Nigeria, showing how many of these road tragedies could have been prevented completely.
The real image of both of them together. Now, Nigerian police sources has indicated that Adeniyi will be facing some serious felony charges for reckless driving. And I know a lot of you guys are curious, such as I, on, what would be the punishment or the penalty for reckless driving in Nigeria. So I looked it up. And if you are a reckless driver in Nigeria and you cause a fatality on a federal road, that is up to 7
Pain In-game understood something crucial about what AJ's really battling now. Yeah, he walked away with minor cuts and bruises, but surviving a horrific crash that instantly killed Sina Gami and Lateef Latsio Dele left wounds you can't see. Anyone who's watched Joshua fight knows he's built tough, but surviving when your brothers didn't creates a special kind of torture. His mind keeps replaying those final seconds, wondering what he could have done differently, carrying guilt that weighs more than any championship belt.
It's such a severe car accident there. Like, all right, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living. And obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out of car accidents like that with great care because you don't want to...
Eddie Hearn got it right when he talked about AJ's responsibility beyond just grieving. After losing two of his most loyal teammates, Hearn pushed the importance of standing with their families through everything ahead. Sina Gami and Latif Lotz Ayadale weren't just trainers collecting paychecks. They were brothers who sacrificed alongside AJ through every victory and defeat. Now he's carrying more than his own healing. He's committed to making sure their families never feel abandoned in their darkest moments.
AJ, you're one lucky lad. God bless you, man. I'm glad you're alive again. Shocked me, it has. Terrible. Anyway, good luck everybody and try and enjoy the new year as much as you can and be safe, yeah.
John Fury's blessing for AJ captured what millions felt watching this tragedy unfold. Grateful that Anthony survived, but heartbroken over the price he paid for that survival. Life changes in a split second, and for someone used to controlling danger in the ring, surviving a violent collision that killed his closest friends reminds you that some things can't be trained for or predicted. Every day now comes with gratitude mixed with guilt, relief tangled with devastating loss.
Okay, so Anthony Joshua appeared on chat shows, crossed over as a celebrity, a fighter, without being a celebrity.
Tyson Fury's emotion.
Gareth A. Davis, talking about fight strategy, suddenly felt completely tone deaf after real tragedy struck. Before this crash, everyone obsessed over AJ's next opponent or his tactical adjustments. But when sudden death takes people who matter most, all that sports noise becomes background static. Joshua's priorities shifted from planning his next fight to figuring out how to wake up every morning carrying this grief, how to protect his mental health while honoring two men who can't be replaced. Fury's response after AJ's accident showed something bigger than typical boxing rivalry. While others rushed to judgment or threw blame around, Fury reminded everyone about basic human compassion. After Anthony Joshua survived that nightmare crash in Nigeria that killed two of his team and left him hospitalized, Fury called for love instead of hate, saying, "We're all brothers and sisters who should support each other through the worst moments." When you see the pain written across AJ's face and feel the silence where joy used to live, those words about unity and empathy mean everything.